The beauty, complexity, and incredible diversity of orchid flowers are unrivaled in the plant world. And did you know they are also the largest family of flowering plants in the world? If you are new to the world of orchids, don't be afraid of them. Orchid care is not difficult, it's just little different. Good orchid care needs some basic knowledge to grow them well. In today's video, I will be sharing best care tips for growing your orchids, and also I would like to thank our sponsors Wow Skin Science range of products. I will talk about them in detail during the video. Alright, let's explore the enchanting and beautiful world of these stunning orchids. To understand how to grow any kind of orchid or any plant, you should start with their natural habitat. Once you learn how it grows in the wild, you will have a good idea of the environment you need to provide. The orchid family has over 800 different types and more than 22,000 species. Most orchids are tropical plants which live as epiphytes, meaning hanging on the trees for support. Generally, orchids sold in nurseries are epiphytes. They have been naturally designed to get constant fresh air and high humidity in the forest. Imagine now the same plant in pot in typical home environment. How strange, right? So understanding their natural habitat is very important to provide their need. There are more than 25,000 species of orchids. So one of the frequently asked questions is, which is the best orchid for the beginners? I would suggest this Dendrobium species. It is easy to manage and has attractive flowers that are long lasting. In India, you will find this in most of the nurseries. The tips that I am sharing today are mostly applicable for Dendrobium orchids. By textbook, orchids require a lot of bright areas, but the intense sun can also burn their foliage. Orchids in general have pretty delicate leaves, so place orchids in bright shade to avoid leaf burning. You can place your orchids on the windowsill of a lightly shaded south-facing or west-facing window. But from my experience, I learned that Dendrobiums especially love morning soft light or late afternoon light. I have kept this plant in our balcony, which receives a few hours of morning light. So as per your home location, select the bright spot to place your orchids. Talking about their temperature requirement, Dendrobium orchids love to grow in tropical climate, where temperature ranges from 18 to 30 degrees Celsius. If you are staying in dry areas where summer temperature go above 35 degrees Celsius, then you have to make some necessary arrangement. You can use fans or AC for making your home cool, but just keep your orchid away from the direct flow of air. Most of the orchids that we buy are epiphytic plants. This means they do not grow in soil but grows in the air clinging to the trees. So good air circulation around the roots is very important. The orchid gets nutrients from the atmosphere through its velamen roots. It is the white or grey covering of aerial roots which absorb nutrients from the air. So never use garden soil for growing orchids. Growing them in soil will smother their roots and kill the plants. Orchids require special media to grow. The mix that is open, airy and bring to the orchid appropriate amount of moisture for its needs. You can see here they have used only charcoal, stones and bricks. You can make your own orchid mix by mixing charcoal, coconut husk, bark and bricks in equal proportion. If you don't have all these things, then you can only mix leca balls and charcoal. It is airy and at the same time it provides sufficient moisture. If you are staying in dry areas where humidity is low, in such areas you can add some sphagnum moss to your orchid mix to retain some moisture. Always remember, airflow in orchid roots is very important to pick up nutrient and moisture from the air. You can also get ready-made orchid mix. I will put some links in the description box. Regular feeding your orchid is must. Nutrients help to promote flowering, healthy shoots, stem, foliage and roots. I use organic fertilizer for all my plants to avoid any harmful effect of chemicals. Similarly, I prefer natural plant-based products for my skincare. Here specifically, I would like to talk about our sponsors, Wow Skin Science range of products. Wow Skin Science products are made from natural ingredients and plant extract. All products are sulfate, silicone and paraben free without any harsh chemicals. And now I am impressed by seeing this innovative packaging material. Wow's first paper tube. Now vitamin C face wash is available in brand new paper tube packaging with 45% reduction of plastic in the tube structure. Interesting, right? Small but great initiative towards a green future. Get radiant skin with face wash and at the same time a greener tomorrow. You can check out their Wowsome products by clicking links given down below in the description box, or you can also download their app. Shop responsibly and be wow naturally. Alright, coming back to our orchids, in winter season they will be in their resting period, so they don't need much fertilizer. During summer season you can add fertilizer. I use seaweed solution. Fish emulsion also work good for orchids, especially for their vegetative growth. Any water soluble fertilizer is good as long as nothing residue live in the roots. For mature orchids, to encourage blooming, add phosphorus rich fertilizer. There are several fertilizers specially made for orchids available on Amazon which have high potassium and phosphorus. Also there are several homemade orchid fertilizer you can make easily. I regularly use banana water, fermented rice water and garlic water. For banana liquid fertilizer, soak the banana peels in water for 2 days. After 2 days, strain the water and pour it into the mix. Also I use fermented rice water, the water that rice has been boiled. It provides extra minerals. Make sure you let it cool to room temperature before pouring it into your orchid pot. Orchids do not grow in pots in the wild, but we put them in pot for our convenience. Their roots like to breathe and be free. It is perfectly fine for orchid roots to grow outside of the pot because plant roots get humidity nutrients from the air. The secret to growing healthy orchid is to grow healthy roots. Ordinary potted plants are judged by their leaf growth. For orchids, the root growth is the best indicator of the health of the plant. So the orchid pot must have more holes and slit on the side to provide much needed air to the plant. You can use terracotta, plastic, ceramic or wood pots, but as I said, pots should have a lots of holes on side and bottom for good air circulation to avoid rotting. Plastic transparent pot is also a good option, especially for growing Phalaenopsis orchid, because it is believed that their roots are involved in photosynthesis, so it will help for making their more food. Humidity plays a major role for growing orchids. They like to have around 60 to 85% humidity around them. Maintenance of optimum relative humidity is very essential during summer months. Brown leaf tips are the sign that air is too dry. During dry days, you can make pebble trays. take shallow dish and fill it with pebbles. Add some water and stand your orchid pot on top, making sure the bottom of the pot is not touching the water. Orchids also like to be gathered close together, as this also helps to raise the humidity among the plants. In some cases, misting leaves can benefit orchids, but misting flowers is never a good idea. Water droplets on flowers can produce spots and patches which can lead to fungal infection, so never miss their blooms. They need constant moving air to avoid fungal attack. Watering orchids can be confusing for some people. Beginners make the common mistake overwatering their orchids, which results in root rot. Overwatering is more harmful to orchids than underwatering. I stay in Bangalore. Here, watering twice a week is generally enough for Dendrobium. This watering schedule for same plant could be vary from my home to your home. It depends on various factors such as orchid mix in which your plant is growing, the type of pot, how tightly the mix is packed, plant location, and the amount of air circulation at your place. So there is no hard and fast rule like once or twice a week. Before watering, you can stick pencil or chopstick down into the mix and leave there for some time, and then check if the interior of your mix is wet or not. If you observe, generally wet roots are greenish in color and dry roots are grayish in color. So orchid roots will tell you the time of watering. If you have very hard tap water, then I would suggest using soft water, or if possible use RO water. For Dendrobium, little hard is okay, but other varieties are sensitive to hard water. Most important, don't water orchids from the top, and always water them in the morning, especially if you are growing Phalaenopsis orchid, because they are prone to crown rot. Water left standing in the crown and between leaves can cause rotting. Always put water in the potting mix and avoid wetting their leaves. You can also follow bottom watering method for orchids. After watering, don't leave water in the orchid dish or decorative container. Orchids don't like to have wet feet. Blooming, the most characteristic features of orchid. Its long stem with top heavy blooms. They come in variety of colors and last about 6 to 8 weeks depending on variety and location. In Dendrobium, the bloom sprays appear from the top of the canes when mature. Like any other plants, orchids too have dormancy period. Dendrobium will almost look like dead, but don't give up on your orchid. You will notice small orchid babies sprout on your orchid once the dormancy period is over and humidity is increased. Dendrobium seedlings take around 2 years to bloom. So if you are a beginner, I would suggest get a mature plant that is more resistant and strong than young one. When the blooms are done, cut the spray just where they meet the canes. Canes have the potential of producing several sprays from the upper leaf axis. However, you should not remove any old leafless cane as they store nutrients and water to keep the plant healthy. Older canes will sometimes flower or produce tiny plantlets called kikis. They can be potted in different pots once they have developed roots. One trick to stimulate flower spike is slightly drop down the temperature and water. Most of the orchid prefers night temperature around 20 to 21 degrees Celsius for around 3 weeks. The more attention you give to your orchids, the faster you will spot the problem and even have greater chance of curing them. Even if your orchid is not blooming, but still it needs your love. That's all for today's video. I hope you find this video helpful, and if you are interested to know more about orchids and their types, then do let me know in the comment section. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Till then, take care and happy gardening.